Hi, I'm Vern with TaxCore, and now let's talk about the wage and bank levies. So basically what has happened is you've owed the IRS some money and you can't pay. Now typically when the IRS comes and they take an enforced collection action, and an enforced collection action means they're taking an affirmative, aggressive stance with you and they're coming after you to get some of this money that you owe them. So enforced collection actions manifest themselves in bank and wage levies, also with tax liens or seizures of property. But today we're just talking about the seizures of your assets in the bank. So the IRS is going to mail you some letters letting you know that you owe some taxes. You've been unable to pay them. So then you will get a certified letter in the mail that you will have to sign for. The postmaster will come to your door, or the postal delivery person, you actually sign for the letter. Those are critical because in that letter it's going to say final notice and demand, meaning that you've got at least the next 30 days to resolve this tax debt before they levy a bank account. So let's first talk about the bank levy. When that 30 days has gone past, they're going to mail a letter to your bank, and that's any bank that they think that you have money with. Typically they learn about your banks because you've disclosed to them that you bank at a certain place. If they've called you on the phone and you tell them where you bank, or they've gotten some interest statements from previous years where a bank will report that they paid you interest of 35 cents on a checking account, or you had a mortgage with this place, or you got in a 1099 for some interest that you earned with another institution. So they will send a notice of levy to any bank that they think you have an account with. That bank is required to freeze the amount in your bank account up to the total amount that you have in the bank on that day. And this is very important. So let's say, for instance, you owe $1,000 to the IRS and you've got $1,001 in your bank account. The day that levy shows up at the bank is required to freeze $1,000 of the money in your account, leaving you with just $1 to spend. Just $1. The bank has to hold that money for 21 days. And on the 22nd day, they're required to mail that money to the Internal Revenue Service to pay off your debt. If you owe $1,000 and they send that levy in and you have $500, all of your money in the account is going to be locked up for that 21 days. Now, there are some ways that we can get that money released for you, but you got to give us a call here at TaxCore. We can handle that for you typically in about 7 days, but you need to let us know the second that it happens. You can't wait because it kind of ties our hands and it puts us in a position not to be able to negotiate to get the funds released. Now, the second levy that they will incur on you is a wage levy. They'll go through the same process. They'll mail you a letter. It'll be a final notice. You'll have 30 days to respond. If you don't respond within 30 days to resolve the issue, they will send a levy to your employer. Your employer at this point is required to put a holding on your wages. And it's different for every person. It's different for every situation because the way the wage levies work, they take a portion of your wages. You make $7, you make $7 or $8 an hour. They're required to leave to you the amount of your deduction. So if you're married in one, and married in one leaves you, and your deduction for married one, let's just say it's $280 out of each paycheck. They're going to leave you $280 and the rest of it's going to go to the IRS. And that's going to happen every single payday until you resolve the issue. These wage levies are very, very damaging to a taxpayer. It's very embarrassing because now your employer knows that you have a debt and it places you even further financial difficulty. Now, here at TaxCore, the way that we get those things fixed is you come to us and you let us know. We'll assess your situation, we'll make contact with the IRS, and we'll negotiate to get that wage levy released. But you've got to take an affirmative action really fast once you get that final notice and demand. You don't want to wait until your employer gets that letter or the bank gets it, because at that point it becomes really difficult for anyone to fix that problem in a quick manner. So if you've gotten a final notice and demand letter and you know that your wages are about to be garnished or your bank account's about to be locked up and seized, you want us to give us a call here at TaxCore. We can get you fixed up right away.